What are watered stocks? Hello, I'm Rachel and you're watching kalkinemedia's educational series. Today we're looking at watered stocks. So what are they? Well, water stocks referred to the shares of a corporation that are issued at an inflated value to dupe investors. As a result, the value of these shares is projected much higher than their intrinsic value. The last known instance of issuance of watered stock took place more than a decade ago. Many structures and regulations have been introduced to guard the way companies artificially inflate the value of their stocks. Watered stocks are also termed as securities fraud. It's believed that the term was derived from ranchers who would make their livestock drink large quantities of water before selling them to investors in the market. Through this, the cattle gained extra weight because of the water consumed and looked deceptively heavier, allowing the ranchers to get higher prices for them. Daniel Drew invented the term watered stock in the finance world. Drew was a cattle driver turned financier. There are various reasons for the overvaluation of underlying assets. Some of these reasons include inflation of accounting values, such as a one-time artificial increase in stocks or property value. Similarly, the overvaluation can also be due to excessive stock issuance via a stock dividend or an employee stock option program. Perhaps not in every single case, but often during the late 19th century, owners of a corporation would make exaggerated claims about a company's profitability or assets, with an intent to sell the shares of the concerned company at an inflated value. Since the corporation sold the shares at a par value far higher than the book value of the assets, the investors had to bear massive losses, which helped the fraudulent owners make huge gains. In addition, a company's profitability was shown high by contributing property to the company in exchange for the stock of inflated face value. Now, this resulted in an increase in the company's value on the balance sheet, although the company held far fewer assets than reported. All this is done to deceive and cheat investors. So how did the practice of companies issuing watered stock come to an end? Well, companies were forced to issue shares at a low or no face value, which is par value, mainly under legal advice, as lawyers were aware of the potential for the watered stock to create liability for investors. Gradually, investors became suspicious about the claim that the nominal value of stock represented the stock's actual value. Additionally, accounting guidelines were also updated to ensure that the difference between the value of assets and no or low par value were accounted as additional paid-in capital or capital surplus. Watered stocks can prove advantageous for those companies which use the market misinterpretation regarding the stocks by selling the stocks at an overvalued price and register huge profits. The three important causes of watered stock are failure in the adoption of depreciation policy, acquisition of a company's property at an exorbitant price, purchase of worthless intangible assets at a very high price. So what do critics say about watered stocks? Well, over the years, the practice of watered stock has obviously garnered widespread criticism by experts. Experts highlighted specific points with respect to the issuance of watered stocks. For instance, while uncovering the fraud, creditors' liability has shifted to the less informed holders of the watered stocks. New investors, or those who lack experience, tend to struggle in a market damaged by watered stocks. And this is because these types of investors do not possess the ability to do detailed research and compute relevant data. Most of the time, the investors fall into the trap of marketed stocks, and when they realize this, the only option available to them is to sell these stocks at a low price. Therefore, the investors bear massive losses. Now, if you like this information, please like, share and comment on this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Press the bell icon for notifications for our latest videos. For more information, log on to our website, kalkinemedia.com. I'm Rachel, signing off for Kalkinemedia.